Have you guys ever felt lonely? Drop a yes in the chat if you have, because I know I have, especially lately. In fact, we're more digitally connected than ever before, yet many of us are feeling lonelier than ever before. The truth is that we live in a world, as you all know, where every scroll brings tragic news, comparison, or chaos that gathering in person can feel like the ultimate act of courage. Why? That's because we're left with this lingering fear like, what if I don't belong there? What if I don't fit in? I'm really comfortable at home in my pajamas, scrolling and connecting with my friends virtually. And that's where marketers come in. See, we don't just promote events or push messages, right? We can build communities around moments. And yes, we craft that invitation, we shape the website, we craft that first impression, but we also have the power to help people feel seen before they even walk through the doors. My name's Sabina Osorio. I'm a passionate marketer and I get to practice my craft at TED conferences. And today I want to talk to you about this emerging trend that's really captivating me at the moment, and it's called fourth spaces. I don't know if any of you have heard about this yet, but fourth spaces are think of like traditional third spaces, right? Think of cafes, libraries, schools, restaurants. Those are the third spaces. Well, fourth spaces are where digital inspiration meets real world connection. They're hybrid environments born online, but brought to life in person. So imagine a book club that started on Instagram, for example. Take a fandom group from Discord that throws their first in real life meetup. Or even a fitness challenge that then turns into a weekly run club. I'm sure now that I'm saying these, you're thinking of fourth spaces in your life that have emerged over the years. And when you think of these gatherings, they go way beyond the transactional. They really can be transformational for a lot of people. So, why does this matter? Why am I sharing this with you? Well, according to an Eventbrite report, 95% of millennials and Gen Z say that they want to explore their online interests in real life. And they're not just looking for fun, they're looking for belonging, right? They want a place where they could be their full selves. They want to try a new version of themselves or imagine who they could be, explore interests or hobbies. And ultimately, they want to feel less alone. So do I, quite frankly. I mean, I work from home, I have a lot of friends and my partner and my child, but sometimes it's hard to get out of my bubble. So I can really resonate with this idea of feeling less alone and finding my fourth spaces. Um, and I think what's interesting is that as marketers, as event organizers, we have that opportunity to meet this need with intention and without leaving people left stuck behind their screens at home, disconnected, and feeling unseen. So, I want to talk to you a little bit about the marketer's role in this new emerging trend because I think that there's huge opportunity here. Because again, we're not just here to sell passes or memberships, we're here to open the doors to these new communities. And I really think that our role is threefold, right? We're here to drive discovery, spark engagement, and foster meaningful human connections. When we do this well, we help people move from spectators to participants, right? They feel ownership over the spaces that we've created. So I want to share a simple framework with you all so that you could think about activating these fourth spaces. And again, even if you're not an event marketer, if you're working at a brand and you want to bring your community together in real life, these are ideas for you to think about. So number one, think of storytelling that resonates with your community. Start with a narrative that reflects your audience's or your community's hopes and dreams and that really reflects their identity. Number two, think of targeted campaigns. You want to reach people where they are with a message that feels made just for them. And number three, community driven marketing. So make your audience feel like they belong, that they're a part of this, and that this is a safe space built for them by them. Now I want to just share a few quick real world examples of how you can think of these fourth spaces and ways that you can bring them into some of the projects, plans that you're thinking about. So let's start with foodie communities. I'm sure many of you have favorited a recipe online or bookmarked a TikTok that you want to get back to, or you follow food creators on the internet, right? So the way that I'm thinking about this is like, could we help event organizers turn that into a shared experience by, I don't know, potentially featuring a supper club at the event, hosting a local gathering or a dinner club in a specific city, or tapping these creators on the internet for creator led dinners? There's plenty of chefs on the internet. So I think that this is a really exciting one because you could turn these foodie communities into, online inspiration to offline intimacy. And again, you could help people to go from just consuming content to really creating a community around those shared interests. The next one I want to dive into is what I'm calling like fandom festivals. So imagine you are in a anime group or you're in a gaming Discord and you want to bring these people together in real life. So we can help bridge that gap, right? You can connect these niche audiences on Discord or TikTok and offer them a space where they could come together and celebrate what they love. A way to go about this is by using very targeted outreach, potentially partnering with a brand for a co-branded experience. Shoot, you could even tap like a leading gamer and have them be the face of your arcade exhibit, for example. Just ideas. The truth is that you can build belonging through shared obsession, and that can play out in a lot of different ways. The next one is live social clubs. So apparently, young audiences want to do more than just watch. They want to be a part of it. They want to be in it. So think karaoke nights, improv shows, creator hosted open mics, pop up flash mobs. So you could really like play with this and you could market these as like behind the scenes content with an invite only experience. And you could essentially make your audience part of the performance. We did this in Vancouver last year at TED, where the audience got together and collaborated with a leading Broadway producer and composer, and they put on this beautiful performance. And it was all improv, and they came together during one of the sessions, and it blew everybody away because it was in unison, and it was again a pop-up experience that they felt they were part of the programming themselves. So that was really special. Number four is like wellness gatherings. I know the wellness space is huge, and people really want more than just a workout, right? They want connection, whether that's a running club, a tennis team, a hiking club, or these cold plunge clubs. Marketers can really bring these experiences into their space and make these rituals part of the community experience, right? You can partner with Strava, for example, for some challenges. You can do social storytelling, peer led invites to these moments. The truth is, when you bring people together and they're moving together, there's something about movement in unison, whether that's a team activity, a sport, it makes like for a much deeper meaningful connection, and that's something that I think you should really look at is incorporating wellness into this, because you could really turn fitness into belonging. I've got two more for you, final ones. Creative workshops. Okay, DIY is everywhere, all over the internet. And I'm sure many of you have like pinned a project or gotten inspo for something that you said, oh, wow, I could do this. So maybe consider bringing these like crafting workshops into a maker night or something that you could host digitally where you could create, I don't know, a birdhouse. You could assemble something, right? And it could be something that you ship ahead of time or you give people a list of things to purchase and they could build this together. It could be a digital workshop and you can have an expert lead it. And again, it's a beautiful way to bring people together over a shared experience. And when you get people doing something with their hands together, they feel very connected by it. Okay, number six, the last one, and perhaps the most important one that I think you all might appreciate is podcast communities. I'm a big podcast fan, and I think that there's such an opportunity to go beyond listening with podcasts because podcasts have built like deep, loyal audiences, and those listeners have never met each other, but they love the host. They're in between their ears all the time, and I've met some podcast hosts and I've felt like I know them. Like I'll go up to them and feel completely comfortable because, again, I listen to their voice and there's something in the psyche about feeling deeply connected to them. So I do feel like this is a fourth space that's emerging where you see a lot more podcasters bringing their community together in real life and doing a live taping, a meet and greet, or a themed event. And suddenly that audience isn't just listening, but they're belonging and feeling even more connected to each other and to the hosts. So I think I'm really excited to look at doing this for TED, but like partnering with like different podcast hosts or I don't know, Apple or Spotify to bring these podcast communities together into localized activations. I think that that could really foster a sense of community and digital intimacy at these spaces. So I'll pause there. I've shared a lot, but what I will say this in closing is that if you don't build these spaces, whether for your brand or as an event organizer, someone else will, or worst of all, no one will. And that's a missed opportunity because we could leave people feeling left behind, like they're not belonging or they're lacking a sense of meaning. And if we're not intentional, they'll stay siloed in their algorithms, scrolling in their phones, and not really showing up in real life for these meaningful moments of connection. And I think as marketers, we have a responsibility to get it right because we can help, again, drive discovery, spark engagement, and foster meaningful connections that the world so desperately needs right now. So I think that that's the power of marketing with empathy and with vision. It's to really bring people together, and it's a joy to do it at TED because I really think that we live in a time of division and we have the chance to be bridge builders in a moment of deep disconnection. So let's invite people in, let's engage in different sort of interests and hobbies and let everyone come together and play because I think that the key thing here is to make people feel like they belong, like they're seen and welcomed in your spaces. So thank you for indulging me in this. I really get to enjoy listening to your feedback now and any questions, and I'll leave it there.